So hey friends, TR back with my February update. I might actually get to 2 of them this month because I do have a lot of stuff going on. So I've got a big project going on right now and working on some RV how-to videos for that. And that is I'm working on painting the walls in the RV. Since I'm going to be spending another year in it, I thought I'd probably do something I've been putting off for 2 years, to be honest with you. And that's to get these walls painted. So you can kind of see I've got it prepped here. I've kind of patched all the holes, or at least feathered them out as best I possibly can. So you can see I'm kind of ready to paint this wall. It's pretty much taped. Well, at least the areas I'm going to tape. I need to do a little bit more taping, but I got some time. But the problem I ran into is this. It got cold last night. It got down to 24 degrees. It's currently 25, and it should be warming up here soon. It's still pretty early in the morning. The problem I'm running into now is I got to wait for these walls to warm up. They're too cold to paint on. They feel like they're probably 50 degrees or so, and of course you don't want to paint in temperatures under 60. At least that's pretty much what it always says on the label. And I've got time, but I'm kind of getting tired of the mess. I really got things tore apart right now, and I'm not even done because I have to take everything out of these overhead cabinets here. So you can see I've got some books up in here, some media, I've got DVDs and various things up in this cabinet here. And the reason I have to empty this out is I'm going to have to take the back off. So why do you think I have to take the back off? Well, it's to get to the screws in this blind and to put the new one in. I've got a new one sitting over there. I know you can't see it, but I'll show it to you here. But I got to get the back of this cabinet off. I had to actually remove the back of the cabinet when I put these other blinds up, actually last year. So let's talk about the story of the blinds. I'm telling you what. Here, just a minute. Let me get comfy here. Since we're not in any particular hurry this morning, turn around here so I don't have all that brightness in the back of me. So the story of these blinds, I'm telling you, it was a true hassle to get all of these blinds together. This story started actually like I think 2 years ago now. Well, maybe last year, I don't remember exactly, but it's neither here nor there. I got online and I found some blinds I really liked. I like these rolling kind of Roman shades, if you will. And I wanted true wood because I wanted wood that would kind of, match up to the floors a little bit. So I ordered these blinds online. Well, I got part of them, and then the rest never showed up. And I called, and I emailed, and I did everything I could to try to track down where these blinds were. The company I was working with, who will remain nameless, they said, they went and looked up the tracking number, and they said, well, you've received everything. You've got everything you ordered. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm missing 3. And I finally just said, you know what? I'm done with this crap. I stopped payment on the credit card. I figured that'll get their attention. They're either going to wake up and figure out where my other blinds are, or we're going to end up in a huge pissing match. Well, all I got was an email threatening to sue me or to send me to small claims court. And I'm like, go for it, dude, because you haven't sent everything, and I'm not paying you until I get everything. And the second thing is, okay, you want to play shitball? Fine. You go ahead and send me to small claims court, and I'll cost you more than the $500 that you're going to sue me for in bad publicity because, just 1 or 2 bad comments on Amazon or a website can really impact a business, and they know that. Well, I never heard any more from them. I tried 2 or 3 more times to email. I tried to call. I couldn't get anybody to respond to me. I finally just said to hell with it and lived with it. But if you've been watching my channel for a while, you've seen that this one shade here was just completely, totally trashed, wore out. And I made a mistake in that I should have put this other shade over here. You might notice that it's a little higher than the window, and that's because there's a shelf that sits in there, and I wanted it to sit on top of the shelf. And so that shelf's out because I'm working on painting that wall. I've got it started to get prepping, filling the holes and spackling them and so on and so forth. Well, I looked and looked and looked online for another vendor where I could find a similar blind. I was resolved to the fact that I was probably not going to be able to find matching blinds. But I kept looking, and finally I just threw in the towel and says, okay, I'm going to live with it, because I was moving a lot. I wasn't in a place where I could receive freight, so even if I did find the blinds, I wasn't going to be able to order them. But since I decided to start the painting project, I knew I wanted to go ahead and change out the blinds that I need to finish. And I got back online, and it took me about a half an hour, but I finally found a vendor, Blindster, in Houston, Texas, that had a very similar blind to the one I have. The only difference is that the blinds I have a cord. You have to pull the cord to raise them up and down. And the ones I got, which are the exact same material, luckily, but they don't have cords. I think they're just what they call cordless, and so you move them up and down. There's some kind of mechanism that holds them up. Similar to the way these day-night shades worked with the RV before. I'm going to go ahead and put those in today after I finish painting that wall. That basically is the story of the blinds and why I've had this blind. There's another one over there by the computer. It never gets used, and it's in perfect shape. And in fact, I thought about taking and moving that blind from over there to over here, because this one gets all the work, because this is my basic, this is where I set. The hassle of taking the back of the cabinets out, taking the back of this cabinet out, doing all that, removing everything up here, because my stereo receiver sits up here. I've got all these books and DVDs and stuff, which are going to have to move today, because now I'm to the point where I actually have to clear out the cabinets so I can get the back of the cabinets out and remove that shade. So that's about all I've been up to. The Gem and Mineral Show is going on in Tucson, and I'm planning on heading out to that this weekend. I've been waiting for the temperatures to warm up. It's been, seasonably cool here in Tucson. The coldest night of the year so far was last night. We've had a couple of nights down into the 30s, almost touching on 32. But I will note that it's been a little bit warmer this winter than last. I haven't had to run the furnace to keep the RV warm for a while. What I use is this. So that fan right there, it's a Vornado. That's a smaller one. But I'll have to give a shout out to Dan and Jen Nevada for the heads up on that one. They bought one of those last year. They have a bigger one because they were using it to heat their RV. And I found that it keeps the entire RV comfortable most of the time. If it gets down into the 20s like it did last night, I had to run the furnace overnight. I set the furnace thermostat at 59. I heard it kick on a couple times before I got up this morning at 5. One of the other things I did to make sure that my water pipes didn't freeze up was I left a tap trickling. I went into the bathroom and I just left the tap trickling. I generally run with my gray tank open during the week anyway. I don't keep water in it. I know that's a controversial subject that some people say you should and some people say you shouldn't. I've never really had any trouble with my gray tanks smelling, even leaving the valve open. Sometimes I close it about once a month. If I think about it, I'll close it up and fill it full and then, open the valve and flush it out. But I haven't really had any trouble with my gray tanks that way, so I don't worry about them too much. But that's a long way to say that I just left the gray tank valve open, and so that water, that little trickle of water, was just running all night long, and that'll keep your hoses from freezing up. I'm not terribly concerned about the sewer hose. It's much larger. And in fact, I don't use a lot of water, and it'll melt out pretty fast today anyway, because it's supposed to get up back into the 50s, which is going to be nice. So over the month, I've been working on a series of videos, of RV how-to videos about RV power systems, how to monitor them, which ones are which, how to identify which ones, because there seems to be a lot of confusion about that out there on the World Wide Waste. So that series of videos probably won't be ready for another couple of months, because I'm doing a lot of animation for that, and it takes a lot of time to build these animations. But I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a good series of videos. As far as looking forward, I'm probably here for another 6 or 7 weeks. March 20th is kind of my target date. I might actually stay an extra month. We'll see. Or maybe a couple weeks. I haven't quite decided yet. Kind of depends on the weather up north. And also on the response to my shout out for people wanting to go fishing. I've had several responses and working out some details with a couple of folks, Mike and Nikki. Some subscribers. Looks like we're going to be able to connect over in Idaho sometime this summer. Also, speaking of subscribers, I met the nicest people this last week. John and Marilyn Smiley. Class A Life. You can follow them on Instagram. They don't have a YouTube channel. But man, we had a blast. I went out. They were staying at the Voyager RV Resort. This is a mega RV resort. There must be 1,000 parking spots for RVs out there. It's your typical winter quarters for snowbirds like myself. But we went out, they had a restaurant on site, so we didn't even go anywhere. We just got together and laughed and chatted and had a great time meeting them. It's always great to get feedback like I got from John, in that he told me that he had learned so much from my RV how-to videos. I thank you, John and Marilyn, for, excuse me, not Marilyn. Did I say Marilyn earlier? I meant to say Monica. John and Monica Smiley. Super nice people. And go over to Instagram and follow them. They have a pretty fun life. Probably going to head over into, well, it kind of depends, because I was thinking I was going to go into New Mexico, but the areas I want to go to are at high altitude. And so I don't expect the snow to come off till late in the spring, April, early May time frame in some of the areas I'd like to go to. So I kind of got to kick my feet around and drag my feet a little bit. So I may head back up towards Las Vegas and hang out for a week in the Vegas area. Maybe back up into the Valley of Fire, which is north of Vegas there a little ways. Might get up into southern Utah again. I have to see how that works out. And then probably slip back down into northeast New Mexico kind of once the weather, and the snow gets off the ground. And before I forget, don't forget to like with that thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That always helps a lot. I've had quite steady growth in my YouTube channel over the last 12 months. And I'm so humbled and thankful for everybody that watches my channel, either comes here for the RV how-to videos or just comes here for the blog. One thing I do want to say is that I get comments all the time from people saying, if you just do this or if you just do that. Well, the name of my channel, and I'm kind of ripping Peter McKinnon off on this one, is T.R. Bolin. It's not RVing with T.R. Bolin. It's not photography with T.R. Bolin. It's not fly fishing with T.R. Bolin. It's just T.R. Bolin. That's because it's about me. It's about what I like to do. And it's all over the place, just like I am. I have very broad interests. Lots of things that I like to do. And so rather than try to have 3 or 4 channels, which I'd considered, I guess last year, but I kind of threw that idea out because I have a hard enough time keeping one channel going, let alone trying to have a couple that might be specialized in specific things, whether it be RV life or, whatever. So I do appreciate those of you that come for the RV how-to videos and tolerate my blogging, and or vice versa. Those of you that come for the blog, whatever you want to call it, but do enjoy the RV how-to videos. I also really like your comments and questions. One of the things I look forward to every morning, at least if I'm online and near the computer, is checking on my comments and answering comments. I get great comments from folks, and I've gotten quite a few here recently on the BioGeo method, the method I have for maintaining your RV's holding tanks. And I'll be back with an updated tour of the RV once I get everything put together after this painting project. I probably rambled. I can't even talk this morning. I probably rambled enough, even if I can't talk. But I'm going to go. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you for all the new subscribers who've come along for the trip lately. And until we get together the next time, peace. Boy, I guess I need more coffee.